Hello, I'm Lady Calamere. I welcome you to my YouTube channel. I am doing my 267th presentation. It will be on the Slavic god Perun. And Perun, let me just give you some idea about what he is. He, I'm not going to say he's the same god, but he has been synchronized or compared to the Gaulish thunder god Tyrannus, the Norse god Thor, the thunder god of the Balkans Perkunas, the Greek king of the gods Zeus, also called Zeus here. So Perun is a sky god. So he is a god of storms, thunder, and lightning. And to this day, in Poland, when they talk about the weather on the news, they use the word Perun for thunder. An older name for him was called Bog, B-O-G, which translate as God. Perun deals with the world of Prav. So you have the three world view of the Slavic belief. Prav, which is the celestial, the above. Yav is our earthly realm. And Nav, which is the underworld. So depending on what part of the Slavic regions, it will have a different pronunciation. He represents Prav, the world above us. He is a god of order and justice. He is a god of agriculture, thunder, the weather. He is a weather god. He deals with the weather in storms. His domain encompasses the sky, lightning and thunder. He is the son of Svavog, who is the son of Rod, the primordial. So Perun is also a god of agriculture. He's also a god of virility and a god of fertility. Vladimir the Great erected about 6 statues, and one of them happened to be Perun. He was a very, of the Kiev roots, he was very devoted to a Slavic paganism, especially to Perun. But he was Christianized, and by the Byzantine church. And when that happened, he had the statues torn down unceremoniously and with great dishonor. Sticks and stones were thrown at and hit and thrown at the statues. They drug the statues, the idols, through the mud and spitting at it and yelling at it and laughing, and then throwing them into the river and laughing and tell Perun to go drown. And they would not let it back on the shore. And then the persecution and punishment began against anyone who was pagan. And this was done all in the name of the religion of love, Christianity. So if you didn't accept the love of Christianity, well, then you're gonna accept the fire. You're gonna accept the sword. You're gonna accept death. So that's how Christianity was spread in that region. This is actually a statue from Belarus. A marble statue that you can find on Amazon. Perun he outshone Slavok. In parts of Slavic areas, he became the almighty king of the gods in a way. He became the most important, the most notable male god. His archenemy is Veles. Now, if you worship Perun, you can worship Veles. If you worship Veles, you can also worship Perun. I just would not feed them at the same time. I would not put Veles next to them. Okay, they are just opposing forces. Now, Christianity has spread the lie that Perun is like the mighty god, the good god, and Veles is the devil, and that the devil will always rise up from the underworld and try to defeat Perun or God, but God will defeat the devil. And it's not like that, okay? Veles is not evil. Now, they will always say that, this is a fight between light and dark. Not necessarily. A fight between order and chaos. Not necessarily. A fight between good and evil. Definitely not. They were opposing forces, opposing views that clash. And this happens in the natural world. This happens in chemistry, where two chemicals get together and it explodes. It's explosive. It's the same with Perun. Now, Veles, in some stories, depending on where you are in Slavic, that Veles rises from Nav and tries to get into Prav, in which Perun fights him back. And Perun, there's the story will ever go where Veles will rise, try to get to the heavens, and Perun will strike him down. And Perun, his wife is Mokosh, which I previously did a presentation on. In some stories, Mokosh was tempted by Veles and willingly went with him, or she was impressed by Veles. Other stories say no, he kidnapped her. So again, it depends what region, okay? The Slavs were different tribes, and they had their different stories and different beliefs and ideas about their gods. Now, in other stories, Veles stole his cattle, his divine cattle, and which starts a war. So every year there is a fight, and Perun wins, and Veles will try again, as the cycle goes on and on and on. Now, they say where lightning strikes is where he's striking Perun. He's striking Veles. And Veles is a master shapeshifter. It almost reminds me of a little bit of the story when Thor was chasing Loki. Oh, we got Sir Mew Mew here. Hi, Mew Mew. Hello. So we got Sir Mew Mew here. And he's kind of not sure about Art the Clown. But anyways, Perun and Veles are not compatible. But it reminds me of the story, like I was trying to say about Loki. Now we got Loki here. I just summoned... Hey! There was a fight. Come on, baby. Oh, maybe it reminds us of Perun and Veles, what just happened. So, we just got a reenactment. Oh, I didn't catch it on camera. But we just had a reenactment with the cats. And apparently, Sir Mew Mew took the role of Perun and Loki took the role of Veles. So, they just enacted a story for us. And I'm sorry I didn't catch it on camera. But anyways, when Loki in the Loki Center, he breaks into the hall of the party, and he tells he says the harsh, cold, hard truth about each and every one of the gods and goddesses. And after what happened, and this is in Snorri's retelling of the story. And what happened, and of course, the Loki Center says that he tells the retelling, he tells the gods the harsh realities, and after what happened to Balder, Odin's son, the son of Odin, they've had enough, and they chase, and Thor chases them, and of course Loki changes into different creatures, and eventually he catches them. So the same thing happens with Perun and Velis. And Velis is a master shapeshifter. As I discussed in my other presentations, he can change himself into pretty much a lot of things what he wants. But where lightning strikes is said where he's fighting fighting Velis. Ah! Damn it! Okay. So, spirits of chaos, calm down. Well, we got Mew Mew here, Sir Mew Mew, being chaotic. So, anyways, where the lightning strikes is where he's striking Velis, and Velis can hide behind a house, behind a rock, behind a tree, or even behind a person. Now, like Thor with his Mjolnir, Perun has an axe, and where he throws it, and it will come back to him like a boomerang. So he uses his mighty axe, and he uses his lightning bolts. Striborg is his right hand god. Now Striborg can initiate and end a storm. Striborg is the east wind, and he can be quite terrifying he can be quite terrifying. So Perun's like Marana is another force that is in some stories is his daughter, but she, again, I did a presentation on her, and she also lives in Nav, the underworld. Perun is also said to be notable of his vital role in the creation of our world. And he engages in clashes with other entities and deities, but like I said, most notably and most notoriously is Velis. Perun is also associated with golden apples. Now, these golden apples are not the kind of apples you would eat. These kind of apples that he throws, when they hit, it explodes. Reminds me sort of like a grenade, right? It looks, I guess if you paint, could look, I guess he just throws it like a grenade and it explodes. So Perun, is he approachable? Yes, he can be, but remember he does have a temper. He is often portrayed as a bearded man with red beard, light eyes, and his face can be red, and he has sometimes fire around his face, so his element does deal with fire and electricity. One of his main colors is red. He is regarded as the great ruler of the gods. He maintains the balance of the world. He maintains the balance and order of the world. Back when Slavic paganism was alive, and it's still alive and well, but when it was before Christianity, you would have like the nobles, like the prince, and military higher ups do rituals to him and celebrations to him because he does represent Perun represents civilization. He represents or the military as well as warriors. So in that way, he's also deals with Mars in a way, as best as I can in that way of fighting. But he also, like a lot of the thunder god, like Thor and Zeus, he also deals with Jupiterian influences as well. Now, it is said when Perun, how Veles was created, when Perun looked into the mirror of the water and his reflection, or at his reflection in the water, he saw himself but a darker self. So Veles is said to be like him but darker, with a darker beard, darker like brown eyes, a darker beard and darker hair. So I guess you could say in a way it's almost like in some ways his alter ego, sort of, or his shadow self. But again, those are two separate gods. And so you're looking at the clashing of the celestial against the earthly underworld. And the two opposing forces, the two opposing bulls are coming at each other, or the rams. And you don't want to be between them when they hit. So I have Veles on the other part of my room. I keep them away from each other. And that's very important. And now I know there are reenactments of Perun and Veles. I know people do this. But again, it's not like putting them side by side and saying prayers to them and giving offerings at the same time. You just don't want to do that. Not at all. So Perun, when he fights to win. And he will triumph. He can also be used to protect the innocent and against the aggressor. So he is used for defending your kith and kin, defending your home, defending your neighborhood and your personal life. Perun's trees are the oak trees. Also, blue iris represents him. He also deals with eagles. His animal, definitely eagles. He represents the authority and the power over the natural forces of nature. Hey, Joker, you stop that. No. Why are you guys trying to... Earlier today, Loki was biting the head of this god. Perun represents bravery. He represents assertiveness. And now, people would swear oaths on Perun before, during, before wars and peace. So between war and peace, and they would keep their word because if they lie when they swear upon Perun, it is said that Perun can and possibly will kill them. So they were kind of like oath bound to keep their word. So in Christianity, they basically said that instead of worshiping Perun, worship the archangel Michael, to actually not worship him but pray to him. They didn't worship the angels; they prayed to them for their intercession, or pray, or they also associate his powers with Saint Elias. I'm trying to remember his name, Elias. That he said that he also had the power over lightning, and that he can use lightning to strike down his enemies. And remember, the conflict between Veles and Perun is also the conflict within ourselves. And it's to remind us and to tell us that we have choices to make. And that we need to balance, or like we need to come to terms between our dark selves, our shadow selves, and our conscious selves. And we need to find a balance of these opposing forces within ourselves to find our path. Perun represents strength and mighty forces. He can foster bravery within one who has fear. He is used for protection spells and defense. He's also used in spells to protect you. Could be used for weather, to protect you from storms. So I live in Hurricane Alley, so I'm very aware of what storms can do. I lived in New Orleans during Katrina. I know firsthand what these storms can do. And that, to protect yourself, but also use common sense. So he's also used in prayers and spells to move up in life, to have a better status in life. Maybe you're looking for that promotion. Maybe you want to be noticed by the boss. Maybe you want to become the boss. Maybe you want to get that job of the man as manager, or maybe you want to become a CEO. Then he's your God. He also deals with politics. So if you're a politician and you're pagan, listen up. Ask Perun to help you, because he can reveal things about your opponent, and he can help strike them down so you can win. Well, we're not talking about killing anyone or anything. We're just saying striking down in the poll numbers, or have voters to come to your camp. But remember, if you make Perun a promise, you're going to have to come through with it, because if you swear upon Perun and you swear to him, you better do not just whatever in your power, you better live up to it. You know what I mean? Don't promise don't promise something that you cannot make good on. Okay? Because he'll smoke your ass. He'll smite you. Yeah, Perun is the almighty smiter. He can smite. And I mean that with total respect. Absolute total respect. So Perun can help you conquer those inner forces within you. He can help you do what you need to do in life to conquer an addiction. Maybe you're addicted to gambling, maybe you're addicted to alcohol or drugs. He can help you use that lightning of realization to wake you up, to shock you. His power is electrifying. He has the ability to help you strike down the things within you that do not serve you. He can be the power of electricity enough to wake you up, enough to get you some self realization going on, to wake you up. It's like the clap of lightning. There is he in when you talk about the goddess Joanna, who is like the goddess, she is the Slavic Diana in a way. She's not the same, but she has a lot of similar traits. He had some, Joanna had some beef against her father, and he wasn't having any of it. So guess what he does? He marries her to Velis. So apparently, there is some. He did give his daughter to Velis, his archenemy. So again, what's going on? Did he do it to spite his daughter, or was there some kind of like, here, marry my daughter, and maybe it was a peace offering, whatever. But he did marry his daughter. Oh gosh, that got blurry real fast. Sorry about that. I just noticed that. I I was looking at Sir Mew Mew, making sure he doesn't smash my statue, and I wasn't looking at the camera. Because you know how kitties are with statues, right? So I was trying to get this done earlier, and I had Loki biting his head. Literally biting. I put it on Facebook Live. It was. I had to protect my statue, but I also had to protect Loki's teeth. We don't want Loki Lofison to break his teeth now. Because this is a marble, made of marble material. So just do bear with me. I had oral surgery. I just got 2 implants done. And first part of the implants, I'm going for a root canal too soon. So trying to just remember. There is some crap out there that is trying to say, well, the Vikings, made up the story about Perun, which is total been debunked. Another thing is that Perun's worship started the 10th century or 11th centuries AD CE, which is debunked. Perun has been worshipped for thousands of years, way before Christianity was ever a thought in anyone's mind. His worship spread throughout the Slavic worlds, throughout the Slavic tribes, I should say. Perun is often armed with a axe, sometimes a bow and arrow, lightning bolt, even, dare I say, a hammer. So he has a red beard, a golden mustache, and his hair could be like silver, long, full of energy. He is a god of strong energy. If you need some energy during your ritual, you can call upon the Almighty God, Perun. A lot of the stories and about the gods and goddesses have been corrupted by Christianity or stomped out. Now, Perun is associated with, do you know what day? Thursday. And Perundan, which is Perundan, one of the Slavic words for Thursday. Also on June 21st, the summer solstice was also associated with this god. Perun, his mother is said to be Lada, and his father's Volok. Now some try to dismiss Lada as not a goddess. Again, just like I said, the Slavic world was far-reaching and wide. It wasn't just contained in a small country, or just in one part of the country. It was it was diverse. Now, the Slavic people would carry thunderstones, and it was meant to protect from diseases and misfortune and sickness. Thunder marks, or the marks to represent thunder or lightning, were engraved or put on rooftops or entries to different towns and villages or homes as a protection as Perun's protection, a symbol of Perun. If you are military, if you are in any of the branches of military, you can ask. It doesn't matter if you are the lowest or the highest rank. You can ask Perun for help. He represents all those who keep order, so he can represent the police force. He can also represent the judicial system. He represents the military force. He also represents politicians, and even to this day, nobilities. So he represents all that. He can also be used like the neighborhood watch. So you can use him as a guardian to protect your home. You can infuse a statue of him, and here he's holding a sword and a shield, and his name is written. And this is the Perun that is in full armor regalia to represent the military force, his martial prowess. So the saint I was thinking about is Saint Elias, also known as Elijah. That has been associated with him. So the Vladimir first, who erected the statues, was of Dashbalk, Kos, Mokosh, Samargal, Stribog, and tada, Perun. I had to remember that. And I don't know if I can do a presentation on Samargal because I don't have a picture of him or an image or a statue. So I will eventually do one on Stribog because I got a statue of him. And eventually, if I can get one of Rod, I will do one on him. So fingers crossed for that. So Juana, his daughter, also is the goddess of the wilderness and hunting, and she is the goddess of nature. Whom she, again, he was married. He married her off to Veles, and Juana didn't want to get married, so I don't have an image of her. So I won't be able to do a presentation until I can get an image of her. Another, he's also represented with an animal, not just an eagle, but also ox. So, what would you give to this god, to Perun? So, you can give him storm water. You can also, to represent him, is thunderstorms where a rock gets struck by lightning, or sand that gets struck by lightning and turns to like glass. You can also use sticks or trees that have been struck by lightning and use that and put that on his altar. You can use that to call upon him. Other things that you can give him. A good beer is good for him. Uh, just trying to think. Golden apples to represent the golden apples he throws. So, things that you harvest from your garden, you can give him. I mean, at one time, animal sacrifices were done to him, but yeah. But we're not. I'm not gonna be. I don't promote that. I mean, I don't do it. So I mean, I have no. If someone wants to do it, that's fine. But to give him, you can give him beer, ale, an IPA, a good mead. Why not? I mean, we're in modern times where we can have modern offerings. Give him a good hearty bread. Again, you can't go wrong with offering sweets. There is Loki Lofison. Wait, is that Loki or is this Mew Mew? Let's see. It's Sir Mew Mew. You guys are looking alike, but you got a different face and you got a pointy little head right there. So it's Sir Mew Mew. He's just really comforted by him. So golden apples. You can give him a good hearty stew or soup. You can give him images of lightning. Well, you can put that on his altar. You can give him meat. So you can make him you can make him a steak. You can make him a steak. You can give him, trying to think of other good things that you can give him other than, you can give him fruits. If you're a vegan and you don't want to handle meat, that's fine. You can give him a good hearty bread, like I said, or slices of bread. You can give him fruits and berries. But if you want, you can give him, you can get stuff already made from a restaurant or from a diner, or you can just give him, I guess, like sausages and kielbasa, nice Polish kielbasa. So you can go to like maybe a Russian shop or a Polish shop and just get some nice Polish food together and give to him. Pierogies. That's what I was thinking of. You can give him some kielbasa with pierogies. Get him some candy from a Russian grocery store or a Polish grocery store. Blue Iris is his flower. And again, be careful with your animals. So those are just some. You can give them rainwater, storm water. I don't know if I said that. Or after a storm, and if there's any like hailstones on the ground, but don't go out during a hailstorm. But if there's hailstones, you can bring it in and give it to him as an honor. You could put it in like a bowl, get some hailstones, put it in the bowl with some of that water and give it to him and let it just melt next to him. That would be an offering. That would be awesome offering. So if you see a place where it was struck by lightning and when it's all clear and a storm has passed, you can leave an offering there for Perun. Pour out some spirits, a good drink on there, or leave food in a way where you're not littering or you're not causing any harm to wildlife. You could leave some fruits there. Or during a storm is a great time to contact him. We got lots of storms here. So if you have a hurricane above your head and you are safe and you're in a safe space, you can think about Perun. Or you can say a prayer to yourself if you're in a shelter, sheltering with other people, and you don't want other people to know that you're a pagan. Thursday is his day, has been associated with him. So anytime when there's a storm, it, you know, you can ask Perun for protection, but that's a great time to call upon him. And one of the things that you can raise energy during a storm is literally brushing your hair. You're brushing your hair, and you could be intent on a candle, have a candle lit, or have a spell in mind, and you brush out your hair. It doesn't matter if you have short hair, long hair. Of course, the longer is better for this, but it will create static, and that's what you want. You want something to brush your hair, that energy, or something even to create static and let your hair get staticky and send out that energy. And Perun can get kind of temperamental, just so you know, because he is a god of war as well as law. So, and with that, you make the determination whether you are ready to approach this god or not. So, he is also a god not just of agriculture, but also to ensure a bountiful harvest. He was called upon during times of drought, during a times of famine, to bring the rain so that the crops can grow, so that the animals can live, so that you have food on your table, so that you have water to drink. And so that your lineage can go on and on and on. You see what I mean? And like I said, there are some people try to say, well, he was just around the 6th century CE, 10th century, 11th, blah, blah, blah. No, he's thousands. He was worshipped for thousands and thousands of years. Sorry, but... you can also pray for good weather. You can also pray for clement. So you can pray for him during inclement weather to make it clement, to make it a good weather, or you can ask for inclement weather. You can ask for the storms to come. And you can also bring literal or figurative storms, or end literal or figurative storms with his help. So what else can I talk about this god? I've been talking about 48 minutes. Jeez. Perun is associated with mountains and high places. So mountains and high places. Where will we find high places in the city? Oh yes, skyscrapers. So you can associate, like in New York City, the Freedom Towers. It used to be the Freedom Tower. Sorry, Freedom Tower. It used to be the World Trade Center, which were two towers. The Empire State Building. You can think about, no matter where you are, the highest building is definitely his place. So where would you want to place him in your home? Do you want to place him on the floor? No, we want to place him a little bit up. We want to place him higher up. So if you're making an altar to him, you try to make sure he's somewhere higher up, because that's what he represents. He represents, like, on the tallest tree, especially oak tree, tall trees, mountain tops, and skyscrapers. Or if you have a roof and you have access to your roof, you can also safely, if you're in you can go to your balcony if it's up. Like, say if you have a two-story house, you can step out on your balcony to call upon him. Or if you're able to, do it on the second floor. I mean, not everyone has that ability. Some people can only do it on their first floor. But I'm just saying, just some ideas for worshiping him. Now, I'm not saying to go to a mountain and worship him. I'm just saying that's where his energy is. Like the Santeria, I'm not saying he's Obatala, but in Yoruba, Obatala represents like the highest, like the mountains and the mountaintops and tops of skyscrapers and on top of clouds. You get it? So it's the same. So if you know about a lot about where he likes it, then you know where Perun likes to be. He likes to be way up there. So when you're traveling by plane, I keep getting planes. If you're traveling by plane, or if you're a jet fighter, so if you or you're a captain of a plane, he is a god to call because you're going into his territory. So whether you're on a helicopter, a blimp, a plane, or flying on a balloon, or maybe you're you're jumping from a parachute, you're gonna be floating or flying in his domain. So yeah, you can ask Perun to protect you from getting from one airport to another airport, from getting destination from one part destination to the other. So whether you're just going across the state or go across the country or international flights, you can call Perun to protect your flight. So he comes from the word I forgot to say, parit, which means to strike. He is called the striker, the hitter. Like Forbati in Forbati in Norse, he is one of the giants, and his name means cruel striker. So his name deals with the strike and to hit, to be the hitter or the striker. So that's where his name comes from. I'm sorry I didn't mention that from the beginning. Again, this just shows I don't have notes. It's either I know it or I don't when I do these presentations. And I'm not going to do something that I don't know anything about. And he's often depicted, by the way, wearing armor, the way I have him. So he's armed and ready to rush to go into battle. And he's not just a berserker. This guy is not just a berserker. He's not just going to be like Ares and go into war. No, 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 no. This guy's got I'm not saying anything bad about Ares. What I'm saying is he's not a berserker in that way. He can become a berserker, but what it is that he's like a war general. When it comes to war, he is like a general. He can plan his attack. He's not just going to go into the fray and not knowing what he's doing. He's not just going to go blindly into fighting. But when he fights, understand, he's in it to win it. Okay? So, yeah. When you call him, let him do his thing. So Perun is in my home, and I ask him to always protect me and mine and my home and everything that's in it, and the extension of my home, which is the vehicle. So Almighty Perun protects this home. Almighty Perun protects me and mine. And I do this presentation for the dedication and the love and the honor and respect for this great God, this mighty, almighty, powerful God. His popularity began to wane during the 10th century CE with the arrival of Christianity, especially the Byzantine, where the Kias was there, and but where Christianity came, it was like just locusts destroying the crops, I guess. But when Christianity came, his worship began to wane, and by force as well. So during times of war, during the times of whether you're having a battle against someone or you're battling even in court, you can ask Perun to help you. So if you got a court date and you know you're in the right, or maybe you messed up and you're going to ask Perun to help you get on the right track, or maybe something happened, you know, you did something but you did it out of desperation, ask Perun to help, because he can actually have the justice go easy on you, or maybe case dismissed. If you're so if you got a court date, maybe someone committed a crime against you, ask Perun to throw the book at them. Okay, so he's going to deal with court and justice spells too. That's another thing that you can use him for, court and justice spells. You can also to ask for a type of social justice, to ask, Perun to, if you're on a cause, to ending some type of cruelty against animals, against nature, against people, you can ask Perun to join your cause and help. Help fight the good fight. So anyways, there's so much to learn about this god, and I've been talking for 57 minutes. I want to thank you so much. And remember, don't drink and drive. Don't get Perun mad at you, because you're breaking the law if you're inebriated. If you even smoked a few hits of a joint and you feel you're high, wait till that goes away, that high goes away, or have someone bring you home. Don't get behind the car and get yourself arrested or get on probation and then have a public record, because you're not only putting your life in danger, you're putting everyone else's life in danger. So again, be smart, live to see the next day, don't get behind the wheel. Anyways, also, if you like my content, please give me a thumbs up. That's the way you can pay me. And the way to pay me is to subscribe to me, because I know I'm looking at my stats, and there's a lot of people that are not subscribed to my channel that are watching. So please subscribe. Share my video with your friends and family, and Facebook and social media, by text and by messenger. Whatever money you were going to give to me, because I do not have a Patreon account, give to good causes like protecting animals, or like the SPCA that are fighting for animals, because cold weather in some places is going to get real cold, and there's a lot of cats and dogs being treated really cruelly and being neglected out in the weather. And yeah, so give money to that. Give money to charities that bring equality, and what do we say? Thank you so much, right? Sir Mimi. Oh my God, look at him. Look at him. He just feels good next to Perun. He just feels really good. Say hi to Sir Mew Mew. And what do we say always, Sir Mew Mew? As always, blessed be. He's looking away. And there's Art the Clown. Yawn. Yeah, you did a lot of work, Sir Mew Mew. I love you. Blessed be God, folks.